Gen Z has been scammed. That's as clear as I can make it for you. Generation Z has been slighted, basically. We've been left to solve the problems of the previous generation problems. And we're a smart generation, so we know we could do it. But, you know, there's been things that we've been told to growing up in our life that has made it seem like we sort of just been duped into believing one reality and having to sort of make up for the problems that we have to reverse engineer in our lives. So let's see, what are we getting into today? So what do we have here? Oh, okay, this lady. Okay, we have this lady. We're basically the same age. She's 27, I think she says in the video, and I'm 26. And a lot of the things that she said, I basically, I co-sign on. But let's see what she says.
I am 27 years old, which means that I am at a rare age that somehow found itself in between like the Gen Z quiet quitting era and the millennial girl boss era. And I often find myself conflicted between the two. Let me explain. When I was in high school and college, it was mega girl boss era. Like girls could do anything, like you could go to work, like a career was all that a woman needed, blah, blah, blah. Move to New York City, work for a magazine, that kind of vibe. Climb up that corporate ladder, like if it's the last thing you do. And I fed into that. Like in college, I was psycho. I did graduate number one in my major, but whatever. But I worked myself to the bone in college to like prove to everybody that I was the best. Like I knew my stuff. I was a girl boss. I was going to have a great career, blah, blah, blah. I graduate from college. The year I start working, COVID hits. And then I was radicalized to realize that almost none of this shit matters. Like all of
This lady right here is hitting the nail right on the head, especially having to graduate during the pandemic. Or I basically graduated, right the few months prior to the pandemic. But after graduating college, you felt like, you were climbing to the top of whatever field you were getting at. And then when COVID hit, that sort of, left me a little lost in a sense. But okay, let's continue with this lady's story.
almost none of this shit matters. Like all of this work, all of this effort is basically fruitless and no one cares, and just how meaningless it is, which I know is like a bad attitude to have. You have to give yourself meaning and purpose, otherwise life is miserable. But truly, I just like snapped out of my girl bossery and I was like, this is meaningless. Work is silly. It's not silly, but it's just like, it's not super important. There are things that are more important, like family and enjoying your life and things like that. And then I started kind of leaning more into the quiet.
Uh, yeah, it's funny how that works. Once that pandemic happened, your values sort of change in life, where you are valuing, experiences and things that will be fruitful in your life. And before the pandemic, I think everyone was in this like busy mindset where, you have to grow yourself to be the best in your career, the top of your career. And then once there's a time where the career isn't important and making sure that you stay healthy, the values in your life, you sort of reevaluate where you are in life. You know, But yeah, let's see what this lady says.
Leaning more into the quiet quitting kind of vibe where I did all my work and I was always accountable and showed up and, everyone could depend on me, but I wasn't going above or beyond, or I didn't have dreams of like climbing a corporate ladder anymore. I just wanted to show up to do my job and then go home. You know what I mean? And also just like not be super into my job, just kind of live with it, but don't live for it. You know what I mean? And I just thought all the time about how badly I just didn't want to have to work. So it was very weird to feel this like conflict between these two identities that I had once had. And it was even weirder to enter the workforce again post-COVID and find that the millennial girl bosses who had been in it for so long were unable to like untangle themselves from that and to feel their energy and their go above and beyond all the time like vibes when nobody else was kind of on that level anymore. Because I think we all kind of realized what was actually important during COVID. We all realized how unnecessary some of the jobs that we do are to like real life. And I think that was like a haunting wake up call, right? But the girl bosses were so deep into it. They came back and they came back stronger than ever. But then I'm sure that was frustrating for them because they were probably like, why is nobody else on my vibe anymore? Nobody wants to be a girl boss anymore. And it's like, no, nobody does. I'm so sorry. So I went from one end of the spectrum to the other. Now I'm somewhere in the middle because I have found that I do need enthusiasm for my job in order for me to actually want to work, because I do have to work in order to live. So now I'm happy to go a little bit above and beyond at work. I'm happy to stay a little late sometimes. I found work that I'm passionate about, that I care about, that feels purposeful and meaningful to me. I do have dreams of like growing and having a career, you know? But also, I take all my vacation every year. I take sick days if I feel sick. There are some days I show up and I'm like, I'm not into it today. And there are some days I show up and I'm super productive and I make up for those days, you know? Anyway, I just think it's funny how the culture can change, attitudes toward work can change. I think I'm at a good spot though. Happy to not be a girl boss, but also happy to not be a quiet quitter, you know?
All right, so we got a little happy ending for her. She grew up trying to learn how to be a girl boss. I don't even want to talk about that term very much. It's basically just, independence in your life, which, we're all kind of seeking, both men and females. So we were all trying to be our own little boss. But then, the pandemic made us change our values a little bit. And, she found a little bit of balance in her life. And I think that's what we're all sort of doing as a generation trying to become adults in this world. Just like not too far on one either side of the spectrum of being too lazy or being too work oriented, and just like having that good middle even ground. Because even when I'm at my 9 to 5, I sometimes like I feel like I have to give myself a break sometimes, even though like with a 9 to 5, it doesn't feel like you're doing enough. Sometimes you just, when you gotta take that break, you gotta take that break. A little more doom and gloom, why not? This guy is, he basically explains the job market, which I think I've been dealing with quite heavy recently and been struggling too. And I think a lot of us have been struggling. So let's see what he says.
So if you live in the United States right now, you understand that we're going through a job market disaster, a fucking crisis. But I'm going to expose everyone. So starting with if you're a hiring manager or you're in hiring practices, fuck you. And secondly, I'm going to be exposing companies and the games that they're playing from personal experience. So this will be one of my only videos today because so far I'm 1,600 job applications in, and once I post this video, I'm going to go apply for another few hundred. And this is what's going on. So first and foremost, these companies are saying that they're urgently hiring, but yet they're rejecting everyone, and then they're reposting the job that they're urgently hiring for like a month or two later. What's up with that?
What is up with that? I've been searching for a job on LinkedIn for days for IT. I took an IT course and I got a certification for it. And, searching for a job on LinkedIn is terrible work. When you apply to a job, you never know if you're getting rejected or if they're just forgetting to reply back to you. But yeah, let's continue here.
Genuinely, there's been theories and comments that I've had saying that it's because companies are getting paid to do this, that they're profiting from it. I don't understand how, but just a theory. But my question is why? And second, another thing I'm going to expose is what these companies are doing is they're sending you through. I've been through, I can't even begin to tell you the amount of times where they'll have you for an initial interview. So I passed the first round, right? Passed the second round, passed the third round. I'm like 2 weeks in to a company, like in their interview process. I'm at like interview number 4. And then they just go, yeah, sorry, no. Or they don't even get back to me at all. I shit you not. There have been multiple companies where I'm going to like the 4th round of interviews and then they just never get back to me ever again. I'm like, what the hell, right? So out of the 1,600 jobs I've applied to, I've had one salary job offered that was around $41,000 a year to sell phones in Costco. I rejected that job offer. I turned that down. And I've been offered 3 1099 positions, which means I don't get paid hourly or salary. I just get paid on if I can make a sale. The other thousands of jobs that I've applied to, I've either been rejected or been played with through the interview process or just never heard back from. So it's fucking...
That's messed up. The very least you could do as a employer is to reject very politely Like, you can't just leave us hanging. Like, what are we expecting to do as a collective when we're applying to jobs and just not expecting to hear back from you? That's a little bit unprofessional as an employer. And I guess I have to say I'm thankful for the ones that do send rejections, but that's like a small minority of jobs, it seems. You know, the most you can ask for at this point is at least a rejection, which is crazy to think about. But, you know, crazy job market out there now. Yeah, let's finish this. Let's finish this video up.
Crazy. Another thing I'm going to expose is college education. They don't seem to care at all that I have a business degree, applying for marketing or management, any of these roles. All they care about is your work experience. So if you're currently in college and you're seeing this as maybe a sign to drop out, do it. Do it. Not financial advice, but do it. I'm in my last semester of college, and if I would have known going back what I know now, I probably wouldn't have gone through 4 years of college. Just being honest. And finally, for those of you saying, oh, you're not doing the right processes or steps, fuck you. Because me and thousands of other people are literally trying everything. From applying online, to calling companies, to going to job fairs, to I literally go from business to business. For minimum wage jobs. And I give up my resume and I talk to the manager and they go, oh yeah, well, either we're not hiring right now, or they're like, oh yeah, you seem like a nice guy. Put in your application online. So I do that, get rejected. I'm not applying for over 6-figure job. I'm applying for minimum wage position. Fuck.
That's tough. That's tough. Yeah, it does seem like after you graduate college, they don't even check to see if you have a degree. So what's the point of even going to college anymore? These jobs don't care if you even went to college. I think there's now a more importance. There's a shift in importance in actual experience over the college degree. You know, jobs aren't valuing the degree as much. And, you know, it feels like you got scammed into going to college. It's terrible. But let me know in the comments if you have the same sentiment. Some more doom and gloom for us. Let's see what this lady has to say. Because I found it very interesting.
You know, I really hate to break it to you, but it was always going to be us that fixed the country. It was always going to be you. It was always going to be me. It was always going to be Gen Z. It was always going to be the millennials. It wasn't going to be anybody else. It wasn't going to be our parents. It definitely wasn't going to be the boomers that fixed anything. It was always just going to be us. We've always been in this by ourselves. We've done everything differently than every other generation, and everyone's bitched about it every day since the dawn of our inception into adulthood. And guess what? That's just the reality, and we're just getting started. Everything right now is mucked up, fucked up, and messed up. So, you know, what did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen? We're the only grown-ups left, apparently, because everyone else is too damn old, too damn stupid, or too damn corrupt to really fix things for us. So, unfortunately, that means that you don't get the luxury of apathy. You got to get up and vote and change things. And unfortunately, it also means you got to swallow your anxiety or swallow your anxiety medication and go run for office. Because if you don't do it, I don't know who will. Then we'll have to deal with another boomer sitting in office making a ton of money, and we should be making that money. This is our country to inherit. These are our kids that we're going to start having soon. And I just really can't go another year with looking at Joe Biden. I sure as hell don't want to see Trump, and everybody else is just real scary to look at. So if we could just get ourselves together and start fixing things, that'd be great. That's all I got for you. But yeah, I hate to break it to you, it was always going to be us that fixed things.
Hey, so this lady says suck it up. Well, she didn't say that exactly, but, you know, it does feel like, you know, everything is riding on this generation to fix the country, which in this case is America. And, you know, it's all lying on us. It's a lot of pressure. Are you guys feeling the pressure of having to, you know, turn this whole country around? Or I guess you could turn your whole individual life around. You know, things are a little screwy nowadays. There's no denying that. Things are screwy. It looks like there might be some kind of war brewing. Who knows? Who knows what the future is holding? But a lot of craziness is going on. And, you know, this lady's feeling the pressure. I think that's all I want to do for this doom and gloom segment. I think I'll make future segments of doom and gloom. But let me know what you think of this in the comments. Are you feeling doom and gloomy? Are you feeling the pressure of this generation? Did Gen Z get scammed? Let me know in the comments. And if you liked this video, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.